Normally on this day of the week, I don't do any filming at all. Usually today is consultations, going over contracts, and also editing. But listen, some of you all got your feelings hurt. Angry, hurt feelings like crazy. My phone has been going off with emails, text messages, people wanting to tell me, we're gonna go over comments. People wanting to tell me, I did a video yesterday. Let me back up. Let me calm down. So I did a video yesterday, and all I was doing, the purpose of the video was to kind of be educational or at least informative, to let everyone know my thoughts, because I was asked over and over and over and over by all of you that watch this channel to do a video kind of going over what I thought about the whole 50-year mortgage lob out there that the president threw out. You know how he does it? Like there's all kinds of lighter fluid all over the ground, and he shows up with the match and he drops it. And then he looks around and he says, okay, what do I see out of this? What is the feedback on this? He does it all the time. He does it on a lot of things, good or bad, love him or hate him. Not a political commentary here at all, but that is what he does. Many of you asked me to do a video on what my thoughts are regarding this whole 50-year mortgage thing. So I did. I put that video out yesterday, and some of you lost your minds. So we're going to go over some of the things that you said, and I just want to talk through this. This is going to be a relatively quick video, but if you were unfamiliar, first of all, I will link that video that I did yesterday down below in the description box if you missed it. But basically all I did was I said, yes, he put that proposal out there. If you're not familiar, there are 40-year mortgages available. And also, if you did not know this, you can't discriminate against age. So, good example, my mom moved from Rhode Island to Florida. She needed a mortgage. At that time, my mom was 78 years old. They gave my mom a 30-year mortgage. Is my mom ever going to pay that mortgage off? Of course she isn't. Of course she isn't. You can't discriminate as it relates to age. It doesn't matter. So she wanted to buy a home in Florida. She needed a mortgage. Do you think they should have turned her down because she's 78 years old? Because somebody here said to me, how dare you? Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let's just find it. Here it is. I found it.
Barrett, you usually have good content, but today's video was awful. A 75 and 78-year-old getting themselves into debt? Huh? A waitress or a bartender without dependable income entering the housing market? Haven't we seen this before? You should apologize to anyone you shared this with.
All right. So I won't give this gentleman's name just because I don't do that kind of thing. But here's the thing, and I'm being a little tongue-in-cheek, but I'm reading it verbatim. But I love all my viewers. I love a little good debate. Not trying to get anybody upset. I'm just being a little bit tongue-in-cheek. But this is what he has said. So here's the thing. Let me address this. A 75 and a 78-year-old getting themselves into debt. My mother, 78 years old, 30-year mortgage. Do you think I should have told my mom, no, Mom, I'm really sorry. You have to stay in Rhode Island where you don't know anybody anymore because people have passed away and you're by yourself. And I know that you want to move to Florida where all the family is, but you need a mortgage, Mom, and you're 78 years old and you're on kind of a tight income, and so no, you can't get into debt. I'm sorry. That, with all due respect, sir, is just, I don't even understand the comment. That is a crazy statement to make. People get a mortgage and they stretch the payments out as much as they can. Some people, not everybody. Did we all hear the part about not everybody? So not everybody will do that, but many will. Why? You can always refi. Now, somebody out there right now is saying,
yeah, but you barely paid any principal on that because it's a 50-year mortgage.
yeah, I get that. Can you not make a $50 principal payment if you want to dig into that principal a little bit more? It's not an interest-only loan, to my knowledge. We don't even have any information about it. All I was doing in my video was telling you about it. And what did I say in my video? At the end, and many of you probably never got to the end, but what I said was the most important thing is the terms of the loan. Now, I'm going to get to some more of these, but let me just ask you again. What do you think the difference is between a 30, a 40, and a 50? So you're saying, what do you, Barrett, we know it's the time frame. But what's the difference? The average age to buy a home is 40 years old. And that's when things were a lot easier to buy a home. So if you're talking about, let's say you're 65 years old, you're 75 years old, you're looking in Naples, you're looking in Sarasota, you want to buy something you've saved for, but you need a mortgage. Those of you that are absolutely having aneurysms over this 50-year proposal that you can choose to take or not take, you can look at that and go, okay, I got all the information. I understand the interest rate. I understand the terms. But I think for me, I'm going to go with a 30-year, and you're 75 years old. Are you paying that off at 105 years old? Does it matter if it's 30 years or 50 years? All things equal, if the terms are the same? No, I would argue that it makes absolutely no difference. Now, let's say, and again, I'm going to say this again because people are not getting this. You can make a principal payment. You can take this 50-year thing, and then you can make an additional principal payment, just like you do on a 30 or a 40-year mortgage. You can do that. You can pay it off early. Generally speaking, there is no such thing anymore as prepayment penalties. So no risk there, in my opinion. 2 years from now, the 30-year fixed, let's say it's a 1.5 lower than what you got on this 50-year thing, and you're 65 years old, but you took this out because time matters to you, and you realize that prices in Bonita National have never been more aggressive, and that's where you wanted to buy. So you want to take advantage of a lower purchase price, which is way more important than interest rate or any of all this other talk. You want to take advantage of this because you know that things are slowly coming up and you need to buy when the market is low, when it's a buyer's market. So you jump on this 50-year thing. If it happens, remember, right now it's just a lobbed ball in the air, but let's say it happens and you like the terms and you jump on that. And in 2 years, things change in the world, as they always do. The market starts coming up, so you've got even more equity because it tends to chase you down in Southwest Florida. We've already experienced the high, which was COVID. Now we're kind of hanging out in the low, or at least we think we are. We're pretty sure we are. Things have been showing signs, if you look at the numbers, of stabilizing. So you go ahead and jump on that product, and in 2 years, the interest rates are down 1.25%. So you go, you know what, I'm going to refinance out of this 50-year. I'm going to jump on a 30-year, and I'm going to save a point and whatever in interest rate. Why would that not make good sense? To me, makes good sense. All right, let me just run through some of these comments. Some of them people understood. It's a great idea. Folks move on average every 7 years. This gets younger folks into the system. Great video as usual. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much. Thurston Hall is his name. Very cute. I like that. The more mortgage options, the better. Always good to have opinions. I agree. Always good to have debate too. For those of you who aren't agreeing with me, again, I'm just kidding with you here, but I just want you to look at it a different way. If it's a decent fixed rate, go for it. As your income increases, you can pay down the principal of the loan ahead of schedule. Also, you're building equity. Agree. Presumably, there would be enough equity to sell the home and use the profit for better terms on your next house. It's a foot in the door. Agree. My dad retired at 70, died at 85. Built in a fancy master plan community, but unhappy, so he sold. By age 80, bought and sold 3 more homes in the same community. Another new construction. Seniors looking for a nice crib. Don't care about 50-year versus 30 years. Yes. Exactly. It doesn't matter. You're never paying that loan off. But you know what? You're probably never paying the 30-year off either. Do a simple chat GPT and ask it how many people pay off their 30-year note. It just is not, it doesn't happen. 50-year mortgage is not a good idea. You end up paying significantly more in interest over time. It will also drive home prices up. I started out with a 30-year, and when rates dropped, I went to 15. Well, first of all, sir, you refied. So you're not in that 50-year anymore. You yourself just made my point. I was able to pay my house off free and clear except for the $10K I pay in property tax in Crooked, Illinois. When you pay off your house, that is financial freedom. I like that Trump is floating the idea to get a discussion going, but I think this is not the way to go. But listen, and I'm not using names, but listen, you are making my point. You took something out and then you changed it when the opportunity came up. So if you did that at a 30-year, why would you not do that at a 50-year? And for all of you that were out there screaming and dancing on TikTok, I'm talking to you agents, I'm talking to you loan officers, you were singing and dancing about date the rate, marry the house. What is the difference? 50-year mortgage refi, it is the same thing. For me, 50 years is great, even 75 or 100. Actually, I think I'll take Infinity Mortgage for 400, Alex. Big deal. The Japanese have had this 50-year mortgage for a long time. Nothing new except that Trump will take credit for it, and that's nothing new. You are correct. It has been around for a long time. A 50-year mortgage is just renting. So is a 30-year. And I would add, so is a 15. Why do I say that? Because the owner of the house is the mortgage company. The lien holder, the 2 lien holders own the house. You're third in line right out of the gate, right off the bat. If you have a mortgage, number 1 lien is taxes, number 2 lien is mortgage. You ma'am, are third in line. So it doesn't matter. You're renting anyway. All right, so I had to get that off my chest. I have a lot of work that I have to do today, but I wanted to come here and chat with all my friends on Connect to Florida and just let you know I still love all of you, but think this through. I'm not telling you you have to take out the 50-year mortgage. In fact, I'm not even saying that it's a great idea for you. What I'm saying is A for effort on creativity, and there are going to be some loopholes that it's going to make really good sense for a lot of people.